On March 31st, Donald Trump stood in the Oval Office. He turned towards his press secretary and said, in front of reporters on camera, maybe Karoline's doing a poor job. I don't know. You're doing a terrible job. He then asked the press corps, should we keep her? And then he answered his own question. I think we'll keep her. The White House later said that this was a joke. Leavitt was described by multiple reporters as being visibly surprised. I would. She then responded to being called terrible at her job on camera by posting Instagram stories from Trump's Iran war speech, showing him looking presidential. That is what the job looks like now.
I got 93% bad publicity. Some people say 97, but between 93 and 97. A person that gets 97% of bad stories, maybe Karoline's doing a poor job, I don't know. She's my representative. You're doing a terrible job. Should we keep her? I think we'll keep her. But I get 93 to 97% bad press, fake press, all fake.
And Trump has said this about her publicly. This is disgusting, by the way. That face and those lips, they move like a machine gun. This is an alleged child abuser. Said this about his press secretary, his employee, the person who represents his administration to the press every day. And he meant it as a compliment. He's also previously asked reporters, should Karoline be replaced, before saying it would never happen. He's called her a star. He's called her terrible. He called her face and lips a machine gun. And she keeps posting his Instagram stories. By the way, she's 28 years old, the youngest press secretary in history. And her job security depends entirely on whether or not that man, Donald Trump, likes that her lips move like a machine gun, and if he had a good morning on Truth Social. And Trump claims, by the way, that there's 93 to 97% bad press about him. And some context there. Trump offered no sources. He said 97% before, in September. And in September, he said that he read it someplace. He doesn't know where he read it. By the way, it's famous. Donald Trump doesn't read. That statistic does not exist anywhere. He's citing a memory of a number from a publication that he can't name about a measurement that has no methodology. And it's completely consistent with how Donald Trump uses numbers in general. He said murders are at their lowest level since 1900. He says 97% of the press has negative stories about him. Numbers are decorative to this man. They're simply there to make a sentence sound like it has some sort of evidence. Now, let's ask this. Is Karoline Leavitt actually bad at her job? I want to give you some facts here. PolitiFact. They've fact-checked all of her statements extensively. And the results, they aren't flattering. Because she's made false or misleading claims about immigration, about crime data, about Democratic policy positions, about the administration's own record. Literally anything she is lying about or misstating the evidence. Last week, she appeared at Turning Point USA event alongside Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, and said from that stage that Trump is the greatest champion of faith that we've ever seen in a president. It's the same week that Paula White, his faith leader, compared him to Jesus. The faith champion claims are arriving faster than I can track them. This is a man who wants to grab them by the you-know-what and is talking about his press secretary's lips moving like a machine gun. There was a reporter's question that came out, and she said it was frankly insulting at that event. And the question was asking her about the administration's handling of a policy matter. She also has had an unflattering photo taken of herself by a photographer at a Thanksgiving turkey party. And the White House complained that it was a bad angle. Of course, the Streisand effect immediately made it one of the most circulated photos of Karoline Leavitt. Photo shows her holding her infant son next to a turkey. It's not scandalous. It's just a woman holding a baby next to a turkey. But the White House didn't like the optics. That's how they treat her. It is simply there to make sure she looks good enough and that she lies enough. Think about what all this means. Karoline Leavitt lying to the press. Donald Trump being obsessed with appearance in front of the press. Do you think the mainstream media is going to be covering the facts the way you and I need them? I don't. And that's why independent media like us are so important. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit a comment down there. All of that helps.